welcome to Paradox Painting. My name is Danny, and we are on painting 9. Pretty soon we're going to need to count on our toes. All right, you guys, so purple is the thing, but I didn't want to go real dark. I kind of wanted it to have this light feel to it, but also like peaks of bright colors here and there. I think we got it. So this is called Dreamweaver. It's one of the most detailed pieces I've ever painted, and I can't wait to share it with you. If you would like information on this painting that I've done or any of my artwork, please email me at paradoxpaint@yahoo.com. All right, you guys, I am so excited to share this with you because this blew my mind. I'm just saying. I had to work for it, but it was so worth it. So I've got us a little 8x10 canvas, and I'm going to try to leave a little bit of negative space, just some white on the board somewhere. We're going to use red, a light pink, beautiful purple. This is kind of a purplish blue, a royal blue, and yeah, we'll use yellow, maybe a little orange. I'm not sure, maybe a little reds. We'll play it by ear. So let's get our board covered. I don't want to have to stretch this out. I kind of want to see what happens if I keep control of the pattern, and therefore I'm able to save a little bit of white negative space in a few places. So one of the most soothing and satisfying feelings is this, where you're pouring this flawless liquid base across your canvas. It's so inviting, and it just calls to your inspiration. And you can see I'm not afraid to get dirty. Of course, I do have my gloves on. I've learned that I like to wear the gloves for many paintings because they can wash off really good, and it's better for the environment. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, a little pink. Let's try dots, right? I always like to experiment and see what I can come up with. So there's a little bit of a flow there. Now, as you can see, my pink is already spreading out, which that's going to depend on how thick our paint is. And I'm learning as I go forward what the consistency should be and how important the consistency of your bases, how important the consistency of each of your colors are. So we've gone from pink, I used a little red. I'm cautious on the yellow, but again, as I'm learning, yellow tends to get swallowed up very easy. Purples, I'm just throwing it here and there. I want a little touch to show up wherever it may. And right now, it definitely has its own appeal. I'm not opposed to leaving the painting as it is, but it's going to go through massive changes. This color is very thick that I'm using, and I think that slowed its flow process down and it didn't show up as much, but at the same time I added enough that it muted out a few of the brighter colors in certain places and acted as a blending agent. That royal blue, I know blue is strong color, and so I used very little of it. Now orange can also be very overwhelming, and so I'm just using little bits of it. Kind of looks like a birthday party at this point. So there's not much difference between the original red I used and this one. This one has less orange to it. And so I just use, because we already had red, I just use very little. So the idea here is I'll take my paper towel and I'll drag through all these colors, which is fascinating. And I don't exactly know what this is going to look like when we're done, but I wanted to kind of get a flow of a ribbon feel. I'm wondering if I need something not as flimsy, something with a backbone to get that ribbon feel. But I kind of got it on that one. The cell activation that I have put just a little oil in the colors, it just shocks me how it magically appears. Okay, I love that part up there. Now, if we can manage, we want to save some of that negative space. So I just kind of try to weave my way in that little V-neck. And again, I'm trying to pull more of a ribbon feel. It seems hectic and chaotic at this point, and though I'm enjoying the process, we'll have to see what we get when we're done here. I'm not in love with the composition, and again, it feels so busy, and I'm looking for more of a peaceful feeling. I always paint with my feelings, but this is a good style of really allowing yourself to experiment and see what you get with just a little piece of napkin. I'm going to tilt the board a little bit, but it doesn't do any good because all my paint is basically poured off. I'm not content. Though I love the colors, and there's a few places I would keep, I'm like, well, let's see what happens if we kind of pull this out. And that was really interesting to be able to pull the edges and try to feather them. But I'm not sure what this needs. And I feel like it's got to have something flowing back the other way. But at the same time, I realize I'm losing my negative space so quickly. It's one of the hardest things to, I guess, embrace. So I'm trying to put some more negative space back. I added a little white to my napkin, but that took away all the color. So we begin to play. And again, add a few of the colors. Not necessarily all of them, just a few. I'm not sure why my camera just went blurry, but we'll figure it out. Okay, swiping. Let's see what happens if we swipe. Sometimes that can bring a much calmer look, and it laces rather than more distinct. Oh, look at that little heart. Isn't that precious? That's something I want to keep. I keep finding little places to play with as I think this over and wait to see if the swiping is what we need. Don't touch that heart. Leave it alone. That's my heart and I love it. There isn't a great deal of excess paint on this board because we don't have a puddle behind it. We just have I guess, a smooth coating of white. I'm always up to trying new things, so I grabbed some white on my fingertip. That's not bad, but it's not what I'm looking for either. I don't know, there's something missing. It just kind of feels like such a congested disaster, a beautiful disaster. And this is how my paintings always go. So if I was a quitter, I would have never got to a place to where I followed through with any of my art because I always make a big mess before I discover that or I unlock what the story of the painting really is. This little this little after school painting is what it feels like. Like it's not what I'm wanting. So we're just going to swipe in places and see what happens. I decided it's needing something very special, so we're going to work on the center first. We've got great colors as a base. I have no idea why I'm going in a circle, but we'll try it. Okay. Why is that always, always such a soothing, beautiful feeling to swipe? Right now, as I'm learning, it tends to be my go-to because I'm always impressed with the results. And I'm learning to zigzag as I pull and to control by pivoting the knife rather than turning the knife. I'm thinking, tapping my finger. And I'm not happy with this area right here at all. So we can use that as our base color, but I definitely want it to be more of the eye-catching, like a jeweled wave or feather. So we'll add a little pink, a little purple, and a lot of white. And let's just see if we swipe that, where it takes us. Yes. Oh my gosh. That is what I want. That is what I desire the most. So let's just take a little white on the back and pull this through. Oh, the rainbows of colors. All right, so we're not putting anything on the back of the knife. We're just going to swipe the colors we have right through here. Yes. We have some white on the board too. Look, look, look. We saved a little negative space. I love it. Here are our beautiful, breathtaking, wet results. And yes, it's a keeper. It's beautiful. And if you are interested in any of my art, or maybe this one specifically, just let me know and email me at paradoxpainting@yahoo.com. Here are your dry results, and it speaks for itself. This in it's just amazing. I am so impressed. What a feeling. Very satisfying. And like I said, think of the mess we had. And if we would have quit, we would have never discovered this unique, amazing, beautiful piece of art that was laying there on the board the entire time. And there was our yellow and our green just peeking through. Every color showed up eventually. And the final product is amazing. I don't know about you, but this makes me feel at home. And it causes my eye to wander through all the different intricate little pieces. I love it. If you have enjoyed your time with me as much as I enjoyed my time with you, I would ask you to subscribe and hit that bell so you know when we can paint together again.